You spent a lifetime working for your retirement freedom, but a hidden biological saboteur is actively preparing you for a nursing home bed instead. Every meal you eat is either fighting this destiny or accelerating your journey toward becoming a burden on your family. The choice you make today determines your independence tomorrow. Imagine the sound of a dry twig snapping in a silent forest. Now, imagine that sound coming from within your own body as you simply try to stand up from your favorite armchair. For those over the age of 60, that sound is not just a nightmare. It is a mathematical certainty for many who ignore the invisible erosion happening inside their legs at this very second. You might think you are just slowing down, but the truth is far more sinister. Your body has entered a state of biological mutiny. It is quietly dismantling the very foundation of your freedom, muscle by muscle, while you sleep. If you have noticed that the walk to your mailbox feels like a mountain trek, or if you find yourself white-knuckling the handrail on your stairs, you are standing on the edge of a precipice. The next step you take could be the one where your legs simply decide they have had enough, leading to a fall that changes your life forever. This is not about the natural process of aging. It is about a silent deficiency that is making your bones brittle and your muscles evaporate. If you do not learn how to signal your body to stop this self-destruction today, you are essentially choosing a future of wheelchairs and dependency. Welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are here to help you rewrite that future and reclaim the strength that is rightfully yours. Before we dive into the secret of stopping this biological decline, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support is what motivates us to continue researching and sharing these life-changing new nutritional strategies for our community. The struggle you feel in your legs is often caused by a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. After 60, your muscles essentially become hard of hearing. When you were younger, a small amount of protein was a loud, clear shout that told your body to build and repair. Now, that same amount is nothing more than a faint whisper that your body completely ignores. This is why you can eat what you think is a healthy diet and still feel yourself getting weaker. Your muscles are starving in a land of plenty because they can no longer hear the signal to grow. This biological deafness is the primary reason why so many seniors experience a rapid decline in walking speed and balance. Recent research from Stanford University has provided a breakthrough showing that adults who overcome this resistance can be 30% less likely to experience walking difficulties. The key is not just eating more, it is about eating with a specific, calculated intensity. To wake up your deaf muscles, you must reach a threshold of at least 30 grams of high-quality protein in a single sitting. Anything less is often wasted. Think of it like a light switch. You can push it halfway up 1,000 times and the light will never turn on. You must push it all the way to 30 grams to flip the switch on muscle protein synthesis. Deep within that protein, there is a specific amino acid called leucine. Think of leucine as the master key to the lock of your muscle cells. Without enough leucine, the 30 grams of protein you eat cannot enter the muscle to do its job. You find this master key in abundance in foods like Greek yogurt, wild-caught salmon, and eggs. When you hit that 30-gram mark, especially in the morning, you are sending a powerful, unmistakable command to your legs. Stay strong, stay capable, stay independent. You are no longer just eating. You are communicating with your biology to prevent the frailty that leads to broken bones and lost years. We are going to show you exactly how to master this throughout the rest of this video. Before we move to the next pillar of your mobility, I want you to stop and reflect on your own daily routine. Think about your breakfast this morning or your lunch yesterday. Which of these sounds more like your current reality? A. I usually have a light breakfast like toast or fruit, saving my big protein meal for dinner. B. I try to include a significant protein source, like eggs or Greek yogurt, in my very first meal of the day. Please comment A or B below. There is no wrong answer, but your honesty will help you realize if you are currently giving your muscles the loud signal they need or if you are leaving them in silence. While your muscles are the engines of your movement, they are only as effective as the chassis they are built upon, your skeletal system. After 60, your bones undergo a quiet but perilous transformation. It is a biological reality that your body no longer absorbs calcium with the efficiency of a 20-year-old. You may be diligently consuming dairy, but without a specific chemical roadmap, that calcium is likely passing straight through your system, or worse, settling in your arteries where it does not belong. This is why the requirement jumps to 1,200 milligrams daily for seniors. It is a desperate attempt to compensate for a gut that is increasingly stubborn. However, simply throwing more calcium at the problem is like trying to build a house with bricks, but no mortar. To truly fortify your frame, you must master the bone health triangle. Think of your skeletal health as a three-legged stool. The first leg is calcium, the raw material. The second is vitamin D, which acts as the gatekeeper, allowing calcium to enter your bloodstream from your intestines. But the third leg, the one most often forgotten, is magnesium. Magnesium is the biological spark plug that activates vitamin D. Without sufficient magnesium, your vitamin D remains dormant and your calcium remains useless. Furthermore, for those looking to reach the pinnacle of bone security, vitamin K2 acts as the director, ensuring that the calcium actually reaches your bones instead of calcifying your heart and vessels. This synergy is the difference between a skeleton that shatters under pressure and one that stands resilient. But bone density is only half the battle of a confident stride. If your joints feel like they are filled with ground glass every time you take a step, even the strongest bones cannot save your mobility. This pain is not just old age. It is a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation, a silent fire burning within your cartilage. To extinguish this fire, you must turn to nature's most potent anti-inflammatories. The Mediterranean diet is not merely a culinary choice, it is a medical intervention. Extra virgin olive oil contains a remarkable compound called oleocanthal, which mimics the anti-inflammatory pathways of ibuprofen, but without the harsh toll on your stomach or kidneys. You can further suppress this internal fire with the strategic use of spices. Turmeric is a golden miracle for joint comfort, containing curcumin, a compound that rivals pharmaceutical painkillers. Yet, there is a secret. Curcumin is almost impossible for your body to absorb on its own. By adding just a pinch of black pepper, you increase its bioavailability by an astonishing 2,000%. Pair this with fresh ginger, which blocks inflammatory enzymes with surgical precision, and you have a natural defense system that keeps your joints fluid and responsive. Finally, do not overlook the humble berry. Whether blueberries or strawberries, these fruits are packed with anthocyanins that act as microscopic shields, protecting your muscle tissues and joints from the oxidative stress that accelerates aging. By integrating this triangle of minerals and this arsenal of anti-inflammatory foods, you are not just eating, you are reinforcing your physical foundation, ensuring that your body remains a vessel of freedom rather than a cage of pain. Here is a refined, tightened version that keeps your authoritative, cinematic tone while improving clarity, flow, and credibility without diluting the urgency or emotional pull. Beyond the raw power of your muscles and the mineral strength of your bones lies an even more fragile system, the electrical wiring of your nervous system. This invisible network carries every command from your brain to the soles of your feet. After 60, a silent thief often begins stripping the insulation from these vital wires. That thief is vitamin B12 deficiency. Unlike a sudden injury, this damage unfolds slowly, so slowly that most people never recognize it until their balance is already compromised. It may begin as faint tingling in your toes, brief numbness, or a strange sensation as if you're walking on cotton or foam. These are not harmless quirks of aging. They are warning flares. They signal that your nerves are losing their protective myelin coating. Without sufficient B12, the communication between your brain and your legs becomes distorted. Your feet stop accurately reporting the ground beneath you, and your brain's commands lose precision. The result is hesitation, missteps, and delayed reactions. This sensory disconnect is one of the primary drivers of falls, the very events that so often mark the beginning of lost independence. What makes B12 deficiency especially dangerous is that it often occurs even in people who eat well. You may consume meat, eggs, and dairy regularly, yet your aging stomach may no longer produce enough acid to release B12 from food. If you take acid-reducing medications or manage diabetes with metformin, this problem is quietly magnified. Your stomach may be full, but your nerves are starving. Ignoring this is like navigating a narrow cliffside trail with a failing GPS, confident, unaware, and dangerously exposed. This neurological vulnerability is compounded by a second invisible threat: dehydration. Water is not merely refreshment, it stabilizes blood pressure, sharpens reflexes, and lubricates coordination. Yet after 60, your thirst mechanism weakens. The alarm that once sounded loudly now barely whispers. By the time you feel thirsty, dehydration is already impairing your balance. Blood volume drops, and when you stand up, blood pressure can plunge. That fleeting wave of dizziness, the head rush you brush off, is often the exact moment where balance disappears and gravity wins. Many life-altering fractures occur in that single second. Dehydration also slows muscle response and cognitive processing. When you trip, your body simply cannot react fast enough to save you. That is why hydration must become a ritual, not a reaction. You cannot wait for thirst. You must proactively saturate your cells and support your nervous system. When your nerves are nourished and your circulation is stable, the conversation between your brain and your body remains clear, fast, and reliable. By protecting your nerve health and maintaining hydration, you are doing more than preventing falls. You are ensuring that every step you take is confident, controlled, and yours. This is how you protect the freedom that only steady balance can provide. Maintaining your mobility should never be a luxury reserved for the wealthy, nor should it be a burden for those who find their appetite fading. As you age, you may find that food starts to feel like a chore rather than a comfort. Your metabolism slows, and the heavy meals you once enjoyed now feel overwhelming. This is a common biological shift, but it creates a dangerous paradox. While you need fewer calories, your need for specific nutrients actually intensifies. This is the art of nutrient density, making every single bite an investment in your ability to walk. When your stomach tells you it is full after only a few bites, those bites must be packed with the nutritional armor we have discussed. If you struggle with a lack of hunger or find chewing to be a challenge, you must pivot your strategy toward liquid gold. A carefully crafted smoothie is not just a drink, it is a high-performance fuel for your aging frame. By blending Greek yogurt with a handful of spinach, a spoonful of nut butter, and frozen berries, you can consume more muscle-building protein and bone-strengthening minerals in one glass than most people get in an entire day, all without the exhaustion of a heavy meal. Furthermore, do not let a fixed income or a rising grocery bill convince you that strength is out of reach. Some of the most potent tools for walking strength are also the most humble and affordable. You do not need expensive, fresh-caught fillets to save your joints. A simple can of sardines or salmon with the bones included is a nutritional powerhouse that provides a massive dose of calcium and omega-3s for a fraction of the cost. These tiny fish are the unsung heroes of senior health. Similarly, do not overlook the frozen aisle. Frozen vegetables like spinach and broccoli are often picked and frozen at their nutritional peak, making them more nutrient-dense and far more affordable than the fresh produce that has spent days in transit. Dried lentils and beans cost mere pennies per serving, yet they offer the fiber and magnesium essential for your energy and bone health. By purchasing nuts, seeds, and whole grains in bulk and storing them wisely, you are ensuring that your kitchen is always stocked with the building blocks of independence. Eating for mobility is about wisdom, not wealth. It is about choosing the foods that offer the most life-sustaining value per dollar and per bite, ensuring that your body never has to pay the price for a shrinking appetite or a tightening budget. The path toward reclaimed mobility does not require a sudden, jarring overhaul of your entire existence. In fact, the most profound transformations often begin with a single, quiet decision made at the edge of your kitchen counter. You do not need to be perfect to be powerful. Perfection is often the enemy of progress, especially when your body is asking for patience. I encourage you to embrace the principle of small wins. Do not try to change every meal overnight. Instead, choose one manageable adjustment that feels sustainable. Perhaps it is simply replacing a processed snack with a handful of walnuts this week, or choosing a protein-rich Greek yogurt over a sugary alternative during your next grocery trip. These small deposits into your physical bank account may seem insignificant in isolation, but over months and years, they compound into the most valuable asset you possess: the ability to move through the world on your own terms. There is also a profound psychological and social dimension to how we nourish ourselves that we must not ignore. After 60, the act of eating should not become a solitary chore. Isolation often leads to nutritional neglect, a downward spiral where we settle for whatever is easiest rather than what is best for our strength. Seek the warmth of community whenever possible. Share a meal with a neighbor, join a local senior center for lunch, or simply invite a friend over for a bowl of nutrient-dense soup. When we eat together, we tend to eat more mindfully, and variety naturally finds its way onto our plates. The joy of human connection serves as a biological catalyst, making our commitment to health feel like a celebration rather than a restriction. Your body has carried you through 6 decades of life, through every triumph, every heartbreak, and every adventure you have ever known. It has been a faithful servant, and it is never too late to reward that loyalty. Investing in your nutrition today is not just about avoiding a hospital bed. It is about protecting your dignity and your agency. It is about the freedom to walk into a store without hesitation, to climb the stairs to see a loved one, and to keep exploring the world with your head held high. You are the architect of your future strength. By nourishing your muscles, bones, and spirit with intention, you are ensuring that the next chapter of your life is not defined by your limitations, but by the confident, independent steps you continue to take. Here is to walking strong, eating well, and living fully at every age. As we draw this journey to a close, it is essential to realize that everything we have discussed, from the vital 30 grams of protein to the silent protection of vitamin B12, is part of a much larger tapestry of self-respect. We often spend our lives maintaining our homes, our cars, and our careers, yet we frequently overlook the one vessel that allows us to experience the beauty of the world: our own bodies. The information shared today is more than just a nutritional guide. It is a manifesto for your independence. We have unmasked the silent threats of anabolic resistance and inflammatory fires, and we have provided you with the tools to rebuild your foundation from the inside out. Understanding that your body requires a different language of care after 60 is the first step in reclaiming the narrative of your later years. You are not a bystander in your own aging process. You are the lead architect of your physical destiny. Every meal you choose, every glass of water you drink, and every nutrient-dense snack you reach for is a conscious vote for a future where you remain the master of your own movement. The profound lesson to be drawn from this is that your body is remarkably resilient and ever willing to cooperate, regardless of the decades that have passed. The biological decline we often fear is frequently not a result of time itself, but a result of a communication breakdown between our needs and our habits. The lesson here is agency. You possess the power to flip the switch on muscle growth and to douse the flames of joint pain through the simple, intentional act of eating. You are not breaking down. You are merely in need of a more refined grade of fuel. To apply this to your life today, I ask you to move away from the paralyzing search for perfection and instead embrace the power of the first step. Do not wait for a Monday or a new year to begin. Start with your very next meal. Look at your plate and ask yourself, does this meal speak the language my muscles and bones understand? If you find it lacking, add that extra egg, drizzle that olive oil, or sprinkle those pumpkin seeds. Consistency in these small, daily acts will eventually coalesce into a profound sense of stability and strength that no medication can replicate. Treat your nutrition as a non-negotiable ritual of freedom, and your body will reward you with the ability to keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep walking strong through every precious moment of your life. Before you go, I would love to hear from you. We all have that one food we know is good for us, but often forget to include. What is one specific healthy food mentioned today that you commit to adding to your grocery list this week? Please share your answer in the comments below so we can all inspire each other with our choices. If you found this information helpful and want to continue learning how to nourish your strength and independence, please subscribe to EldraFit Nutrition. Your support helps us grow, and allows us to keep bringing you deep, science-backed insights for a vibrant life. Thank you for being with us, and here is to your next confident step.